Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today. It is ModelcarNick here again, and I have a pretty cool model to show you guys around today. This is the Mercedes Maybach 680. As you can see, this thing is super cool and kind of a special car. So if you're not familiar with this car was made to kind of commemorate Virgil Abloh's death. After he passed away, Mercedes kind of did this car inspired by him. I'm honestly not too sure on what the inspiration was. I don't really know how this links back to him, but if you know about that, I'm super interested to hear. So let me know in the comments below, what is the inspiration? Why did they make this his car? But anyways, besides that, really cool spec, as you can see, the whole thing. And I feel like on camera it doesn't pick it up as well, but a super really nice kind of tan paint that runs across the whole bottom half of the model, including the wheels. I mean, this thing looks absolutely insane. And as you can see, it's still on the box. I haven't unscrewed it yet. I did pick this thing up used. I wasn't really wanting to spend the $200 that these are going for at the moment. I got this used for $160, which I thought was a very fair deal. This is actually a really, really nice model. So let me get this thing off of the kind of base plate, and then we'll continue on. All right, so now this thing is out of the box, and as you can see, oh my goodness. It's super huge, as you can see. I'm not sure if I have anything to scale, but here's a very small water bottle, and here's about how big that car is. So it's, pretty good size. Anyways, so we talked about the spec. We kind of talked about why this car is special, but let's talk about the car itself. So this car is based off of the Mercedes S-Class, obviously. The S680 obviously has the extended kind of rear end of this car, so it's a long wheelbase model. Super detailed, obviously, almost real. If you're not familiar with this brand, is kind of like a auto art competitor, I would say. They specialize in making a lot of luxury cars, but they also do a lot of supercars. They got a lot out there. But besides the brand itself, the S680 has the V12 engine. Super cool car, absolute, luxury galore. I was interested to see how much these cars are currently going for. There was 150 of these in real life made, but besides that, the model, I'm not exactly sure on the production numbers of them. They don't really mark these cars very well. There is kind of a little slip in the package though. Let's see if we can see the numbering. Okay, so here it is. It looks like they produced 1,008 models. So, it comes with this little authenticity card. It tells you which number you have. So it looks like I have model 168. So kind of cool that these are actually numbered. I'm not sure that I didn't even know they had these in there. So very nice little feature. Something else that this comes with, and by the way, this is the box. Here's the shell of it. Nothing special whatsoever. It doesn't have any pictures on there. Super boring box. So I didn't even bother putting it up properly. It does also come with some bags. I should take these out for the review, but I'm not going to, just because I'm definitely going to lose them if I do. But I would assume they're probably tan. If I remember, I'll try to add a picture in here of them. But anyways, so that's some stuff it comes with. I didn't receive like a little pick tool for this car, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be struggling trying to open this up. So just bear with me when we get this model fully open. So let's go ahead and get into the actual review. Let's look at the details. We'll start up here in the front. Obviously, huge grille. I mean, the grille is absolutely ginormous, but I think it looks absolutely incredible. As you can see, nice chrome details all along the grille. As you can see, it has actually like a crosshatch design when you look at it straight from the front, but when you look at it from the side, all you see is kind of those huge kind of vertical metal lines that run down the front of this car. So super intimidating up here. Here's the kind of newer style, or the latest generation Mercedes S-Class headlights right here. I honestly don't love these headlights in real life. I think they're kind of boring. That's just my personal opinion, because there's really not too much going on with the light itself. Obviously super high tech in real life. You can kind of see some of the laser details that they added up here in the corner. So super detailed. Honestly, that looks absolutely insane. But not too much else going on in there. So in the real car, the daytime running light runs around the edges. We talked about the grille. Let's talk about this logo right up front. So as you can see, a Mercedes badge just, you know, sitting on the hood of this car. I kind of wish they added the Maybach badges up here in the front, but that's just a personal preference. Besides that, kind of on the grille itself, there is the Maybach inscription running across the grille. So you do have that. And then down here, kind of on the lower end of this model, you have some air intakes right there. And I'm having a hard time telling if that's, it looks like it's actual mesh. So really good detail up there on the front. You know, kind of chrome lip that is a little recessed behind the body paint, and then it follows back up here through the front. So these cars kind of don't use the more AMG aggressive style front ends. This is definitely the more kind of tame, but it looks super incredible with all the little details up here. So let's keep moving towards the back of the model. Like I said, this car is fully opening, so if I can, I will open this. All right, now we're up here at the front of the car again with the engine bay open. I kind of just flipped it upside down and was able to open it. It opens pretty easily and it stays open, as you can see. So as you can see, there's some struts holding this thing up. Super good looking engine bay. As you can see at the top, they have some kind of heat shields. Looks really detailed. But below there, we have the V12 engine itself. So as you can see, I believe also on the real car, there would be a lot of plastic covering, but as you can see, everything's molded super nice, super crisp. Nice V12 logos there on the engine cover right there. Mercedes badge sitting in the center, and a Maybach logo sitting right there. I believe on the real cars, these should, in theory, be signed from someone. I don't know if it's actually a Maybach logo, but I would think they'd be signed. I'm not sure if on the real car it's like that. But as you can see kind of all the intakes right up there in the front. Some kind of metal headers, it looks like, right over there. I could be wrong on that, but anyways, so little sticker right there. That's super cool. It says, I don't know what it says, but you know, it's super detailed, as you can see. Some window washer fluid is a little logo. Just looks super incredible up here. I mean, you could really just display it with that open. I mean, the thing looks absolutely insane. But let's close it back down. Listen to that. It's metal. This car is made out of metal. And I'm picking it up kind of, this thing is pretty dang heavy, and it also seems relatively fragile, so be careful. Let's keep going though. So we saw the front of the car. One more thing I want to note is kind of the hood. You got this chrome strip running right up here behind the Mercedes badge, and just a really nicely designed kind of hood shape, super smooth, super sleek. One thing I want to mention right now is kind of the paint on the top of the car. So whoever owned this model before, I think tried to clean it, and they didn't clean it very well. As you can see, there's kind of swirl marks, but the paint is super reflective. As you can see, there's a lot of glitter in there, some metallic flake, and it's all types of different colors. I'm actually just noticing that for the first time. As you can see, this has a lot of different color flakes in there. So maybe that's the inspiration for this car. That's actually more of the black paint than it is the tan, you know. That's really, really cool. I hope that's coming across pretty well on camera. But what's also coming across is these swirl marks. Like, who did this thing? Who did that to this car? They kind of messed it up. But anyways, it was a good deal, so I don't really care. Let's look at the wheels real quick. So you get these huge dish-like 5-spoke kind of plate wheels. Like, this looks like a dish. I believe it's called a dish wheel, honestly. I have no idea, but it looks crazy. It's in the same color as the rest of the body color. And you got to look at some professional pictures of this model. Like, I mean, the paint comes across so well when you see it in person, but I think on the video it doesn't. It comes across more metallic, when in real life this tan section's more of a It's more of a gloss color with no metallic flake in it. But besides that, let's look at the wheels again. So 5-spoke, can't see anything behind them. There's just some black holes behind there, but you get a nice little Mercedes logo right there. And unfortunately, actually, look at that. The Mercedes-Benz sits upright. Well, it could, but it also rotates a little bit. But anyway, super cool. I don't think it actually does, my bad. But who cares, whatever. There's a V12 logo right there on the side. And then one thing, if you notice very close detail, there's actually a black pinstripe that runs across this whole side of the car. I had actually never really realized that until now. So if you gotta look extra close at this model to kind of take in all the details. So now you see the pinstripe, kind of a chrome cladding against the side, super smooth lines across this model. I mean, this thing is crazy looking, but you do get this kind of extended kind of flare through the side of the door. Comes across very well on this car. We'll keep moving though to the back of the model. We'll check out the interior last. So look at this. I mean, this is just ginormous. I mean, this is probably the size of a sub. I'm not even kidding. It's huge. Well, yeah, on the back of the car though, you know, Maybach logo. Sorry, I skipped that. And that's really cool. I really like how they added it on the C-pillar right up there. And you can see the black paint just sparkling away. Panameric, or whatever you call it, but the rooftop, the glass roof, I think it's called Panameric or something. Could be totally wrong. Don't flame me on that if I'm wrong in the comments. Oh, one cool feature on this car, look at this. The rear wheels turn a little bit. Like what? Who does that? That's super cool. Honestly, I've driven one of these rear wheel drive, or I guess whatever, you know, they both steer front and rear, and the turning radius on these things are absolutely bananas. I mean, you got to experience it. It's really cool. But yeah, we'll get to the very back of this car now. Another Maybach badge right there, super nice. And then we have the 3-pointed star Mercedes-Benz logo right there on the center, of course. I will say there's one problem, as you can see, if you look from this angle, it's peeling off. So it looks like crap, but when you look at it from this angle, you literally can't even tell. It's actually hilarious. So maybe that was one of the other reasons why this car was a little cheaper than the rest of them. The first world's most famous cheap Maybach model car. That's stupid, but anyways, keep going. Rear taillights, super clear, not really too much to see behind them, but they are nice and reflective. The materials they used on that lens right there looks really nice. And then we have the, what does that say? Mercedes Maybach S-Class, super long plate. That's kind of funny, but it looks really classy. And then over here on the other side, the S680 badge right there. And then on most Mercedes, you get this nice little chrome strip that gets around the rear of this car, especially on the S-Class. Looks pretty cool. The rear diffuser, as you can see, it's actually, this chrome line kind of follows through the rest of the car, and then it meets at the very back of the car at the diffuser. So you get the chrome wrapped around kind of the black diffuser area. Some really large kind of dual exhaust setup right there on either side. Huge tips. I mean, looks super elegant, nothing too rowdy like the AMG exhaust, but honestly like those. So, you know, pretty crazy back of the car. The trunk does open, of course, so let's pop that thing open. It's pretty stiff. And then, as you can see, huge trunk. Everything's super dark in there, but it's basically a black hole. And then it's hard to see, but there is a box in there, and that's actually pretty detailed. It's kind of funny. Holy gosh. Anyways, though, yeah, that box is actually a fridge that connects to the inside. Pretty crazy car. The carpet, that's actually interesting. There's no carpet in the back of this car. That's super surprising to me. I think, you know, Norev and you know, Kyosho do stuff like that. So I'm kind of surprised, you know, no carpet. It's just kind of like a chalkboard feeling material. It's kind of interesting. So we'll go ahead and close this trunk. Like I said, super stiff. Sounds good though when you close it. Now I'm going to open up these doors. Don't know how I'm going to do it, so give me a minute to get them open. All right, guys, I just gotta say, I just had to open up this thing with an index card. I'm sure if you're not new around here, you probably noticed I'm not at my house right now. So I had to use an index card to open this thing. So subscribe if you're not. That took me a long time. Now let's take a look at the rest of the model. So as you can see, all 4 doors will open on this thing. And what's cool about this is what I noticed, you know, on a lot of model cars, these things are pretty snappy, but this one, there's a magnet in here actually, but this one you can kind of close at some angles, you know, just a little bit, but don't do it too much or they will kind of snap close, and I'll show you that when I'm done looking at the interior. But so sunroof on the top really lets a lot of light in, which I really like. And then as you can see in the interior, the seats themselves have a diamond stitched finish on them. Super nice. I love the diamond stitching in the cars, especially the Mercedes. They do a pretty excellent job, and as you can see, the lighting is kind of not great, so I'm trying my best over here. But rear seat, as you can see, footrest down there, super cool. TV screens all over the place. As you can see, they say Maybach. You even have kind of the champagne flute sitting right there. That is epic. Did not know there was champagne flutes over here. Back there we have a Maybach kind of insignia on the armrest, and like I said, that's actually a fridge right there for your champagne bottles. Headrest looks like they headrest looks like they have the Maybach insignia, again all diamond stitched. Now let me go ahead and see how it feels in there. Is there carpet in here or not? No way. There's actually, maybe it is carpet. There's some type of material down here, but it's not like, it's not as thick and plush as you might expect it to be, like on some of the other models. So, of course, we got to look at the doors. As you can see, a lot of speakers everywhere. I don't remember how many speakers this car has, but it's insane. As you can see, even on the roof right there, that pillar is actually speakers. So speaker kind of up there on the other side. I'm really surprised they added that in. If I didn't say it, pillows on the seats, also stitched, of course. And then once you look at the trim, Maybach on the door sills, nice metal plates. And then again with the doors, super cool. A lot of speakers, a lot of buttons for the seats. Looks super crisp. Obviously the Burmeister sound system in this car is nuts on the real car. Let's go ahead and close this door so I can show the front. So listen to this. It snap closed really nicely. Front door extra nice. As you can see, the diamond stitching kind of continues on to the top or the center section of the door rest. The top and the bottoms are obviously this kind of black material. Super nice. The Burmeister sound system, of course. 3 on the door. That's nuts. I want to say this car has like 18 speakers, potentially more. In the front seat, of course, more stitching. Super nice. Obviously, Maybach on the headrests. And then let's take a look at the interior. So, steering wheel looks nice and crisp. You know, I'm actually not the biggest fan of this Mercedes steering wheel design, but this one's actually done very well on the model car. I'll say it looks pretty decent. Dashboard itself, as you can see, kind of the split screen setup. So one's right there in the center, got a huge one there in the middle, and not like on the new EQEs or EQSs or whatever, they don't have that. And also all the new Mercedes, I guess, have that extra large dashboard screen that looks super, it's not great, honestly. So kind of the interior, kind of the trim on the dashboard, really gloss black, looks super good. So that's the interior of this car. Like I said, I think I got a pretty good deal on this model. Close that. $160 shipped to my house. I'd probably pay for this again. I would honestly even consider, like, I was about to pull the trigger on a $200 new one of these, but I'm glad I got a little bit of a better deal. I think, you know, there's some problems, but really like this car. I think I'm going to keep it in the collection for quite a long time. A couple notes on this car that I want to add before I end this thing up. I know we're getting to 20 minutes. This might be my longest review ever. The rear wheels, like I said, they do turn, but I'm used to kind of just spinning my models around with the back wheels, especially if they work. But since these rotate, you want to be extra careful when moving this model, just because if one of these wheels snap off, you are absolutely done for. You're not going to be able to get this model to sit right probably ever again, unless you got some serious model car fixing skills, which can be very difficult. But yeah, I mean, you know, I really like it. Again, I can't express it enough. This is an amazing model. You know, this I think one day these will be really rare. A lot of people like the artist Virgil, and obviously what a car to you know, name after him, or not name after him, but kind of do in honor of him. So yeah, I mean, on a scale 1 to 10, I'm gonna honestly give this thing a solid 9.5, which actually might be the highest score I've ever given on this channel. You know, the one thing holding this car back, I think, and this is super dumb, is just kind of the lack of the really fluffy carpet on the floor. I mean, this is a Maybach, you know, you're expected to have nice carpet in the interior, and I expect nice carpet on this model car, and this just did not deliver on that, unfortunately. But everything else delivered very well. You know, real mesh grills, nice die-cast model, super heavy, really huge. I mean, this thing, if you put this car on your desk, I'm going to when I get it back home. So yeah, super cool model. I'd highly recommend it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Longest review I've ever done. If you like this kind of content, if you like the model cars like I do, we keep buying them. We got problems. It's gotta be stopped. So support me in the journey of the model cars, and we'll keep doing these really nice model car reviews. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and enjoy the video.